Good morning and welcome to our lunchtime yoga. I'm Kalyani Nicole of Idlewild Yoga and Healing Arts, and I'm really excited to offer you this little 30-minute class. And lately, I've been focusing this class more on the people who are working at desks a lot, because I feel like there's so many of us that even if you weren't a desk worker in the past, you are now, as where everybody seems to be working online. And I don't think this is anything that's going to change in the real near future. So I wanted to provide a little halftime, lunchtime class that supported you in in your roles of sitting, maybe staring at screens, maybe feeling this in the upper back and the neck and the shoulders a little more. So for the start of this class, we're actually going to start right out with a supportive restorative pose. Supportive fish pose. I'm going to give you a couple of options. If you don't have a bolster at home, feel free to grab a pillow. If you don't have blocks, you can use books. There's always ways to modify this. So for this first class, for this first pose, we're going to start right out. And you can either take a pillow or a bolster if you have it, and place a block underneath of that to just kind of support that at an angle. I'm going to show you a second version here in a moment, but this is the first one. You have the bolster. You're going to sit with your sacrum right up against the bolster, and they're just going to go ahead and lay back onto the bolster. And feel free to keep your knees bent up if you'd like. Another thing that I like to do is if you have a blanket or a towel or something nearby, you can grab. I like to make a little roll to support my neck if I'm in this position. And then just letting the arms roll, the palms facing up. And you're going to lay here and feel this expansion through the upper chest. So this is the first version and the one that I prefer. But if you don't have a bolster and you have a couple of blocks, then feel free to do the block version. We're going to take a block crosswise this way. This part is going to land across your scapulas on your back, and then this one's going to support your head. And as torturous as this looks, it's really not that bad. It's quite comfortable. So you can lay, if you're going to use the blocks, with that block underneath your scapulas or your shoulder blades, and then using the other block turned up on that medium height to just support your head. And the same thing, we're rolling the palms open to face the ceiling, creating this openness in the upper chest here. This is actually much more comfortable than it looks. But I am going to go back for now to the bolster. So settling in, whichever posture you chose, whichever version of the posture that you chose, settle on in. And one of the nice things about laying in this position is that we can focus on the breath a little more and just feel that breath in the front of the body. So laying back, if you're not already, making your little nest. How nice, right? We're going to start class off right with a restorative pose. Don't worry, we've got more coming. So let your base of your body just kind of settle and sink. Rolling those palms open, shoulder blades kind of drawing them underneath of you. And I like to always begin class with awareness of our three-part yogic breath, of Dirga breath. So drawing your breath into the abdomen. And sometimes I like to even just focus on bringing that breath into the abdomen first, because I feel like that allows the body to begin to receive this breath a little more fully. Because a lot of times we're breathing more shallow up in the bottom of our rib cage, and even more shallow than that sometimes, especially when we have a lot of things going on, a lot of anxiety or stress in our lives, our breath gets more shallow. So inviting the breath to come deeper into your belly. You can even take your hands for a moment if you want on your abdomen, and just feel as you inhale that breath, expanding in that lower belly, and on the exhales, the breath. The belly button falling back toward the spine. Inhale and exhale. We're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good. What I find with just bringing this awareness to just the abdomen at first is the abdomen begins to soften after just 3 or 4 of these breaths. You begin to feel that shift. So there, we want to bring the breath as we draw in through the nose, down into the belly, next filling the rib cage and then the collarbones, and then exhale from the belly and the ribs and the collarbones. If your hands are on your abdomen, let's go ahead and let them come out by our sides, again with palms rolling up, shoulder blades underneath. 3-part yogic breath, just for a few moments here. Inhaling into the belly, the ribs, the collarbones, and exhaling from the belly and the ribs. A few more breaths here in this. And what I want you to do is really feel that breath opening, expanding, especially up in the chest and the shoulders. But I also want to invite you not to force this breath, just to allow the breath with each inhale to travel a little deeper, come up a little higher, fill out a little more space in the body. So a few more moments here. Good, and then just gently maybe rolling to your right side. And just noticing how your body feels after laying there in that pose and allowing that breath to deepen a little more. Or maybe your mind has become a little more still, a little more quiet. Something that we call in yoga, it's one of the 3 gunas, we call that sattva, that place of peace, of stillness, of bliss. So moving your props to the side, just coming for one moment to a seated position. I do like to start classes with the sound of Om. I just like that ritual and that routine. So just sitting here, just closing your eyes and feeling the spine lengthen and lift out of the pelvis, out of your base. Taking a nice breath here, feeling that expansion and spaciousness in the front of the body again. And exhale. Hands to heart. We'll inhale for 1 Om. Always, I just like to take a moment to take a breath in and receive that beautiful sound. We're going to make our way right to table position. If you have socks on, this is a great time to take your socks off. And if you have a blanket on the mat, we're going to move that to the side. Just going to go through a little bit of a flow, just beginning to warm the body, stretch the body after being possibly seated for your morning in front of your computer screen. So hands, and I know our wrists get tender and tight. Take your hands here in table position under the shoulders, and just take a moment to look at the creases of your wrist, where that back of that forearm meets the back of the hand, and try to line that crease up with the top edge of your mat. Spread your fingers evenly and press down. Your thumbs will form a J, And press down evenly through all the fingers, spreading the weight of your body that comes down into the hands out evenly into all those fingers. Our knees are hip width apart. Our feet are following that same distance. We'll just move through a little bit of cat-cow, and then we're going to move right into a little more movement and flow. Inhaling, broadening through the collarbones, lifting the tailbone and the head. Exhale, press firmly into those hands, rounding the back to the ceiling. Drop the tailbone and the head. Inhale, lifting up, opening through the front of that heart and the chest. Exhaling, pressing the back of the body, the back of the heart up to the sky, to the ceiling. Inhale, lifting up, opening through that chest. Exhale, arching the back to the ceiling. Good. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, arch the back one more time. Good, coming back to table. Hands are going to be just about one hand length forward, so not directly under your shoulders. And from here, we're going to inhale, lift the head and tailbone. Exhale, arch the back. The next inhale, you're going to kind of scoop down the torso between the hands and come up into kind of a baby cobra. From our center and core, we're going to exhale, curl the toes under, press up and back to downward dog. Our first downward dog, just press through the heels here, releasing them, taking the little dog for a walk, as they say. Good. Stretch nice and long. Deep breath in, release the head and neck. And exhale the knees back to the floor. As we inhale, lift the head. Exhale, arch the back. Inhale, scooping down between the hands up into a cobra. And exhaling, drawing back to your downward dog. And then inhaling here in downward dog. Then exhale, drop the knees. Inhale, scooping between the hands up into a cobra. And exhaling back, downward dog. Good. Inhale here in downward dog. And exhale. Inhale, take the right leg up to the sky. Bend the knee, roll that hip open. Keep your weight even in your hands. Lift those hips up and back a little more. Deep breath in. And exhale, return the right foot to the floor. Inhale, lift the left leg up, point the toes, bend the knee, roll the hip open. Weight is even on the right and left hand. Breathing, inhaling, and exhaling, returning that leg to the floor. Inhale, stretch long, downward dog. And exhale, knees to the floor. Inhale one more time, scooping up into your cobra. And exhaling back, downward dog. Good, take a breath. And then we'll walk our feet toward our hands. Coming into our forward fold. Bend the knees, let the torso hang. Releasing, letting go. So in this pose, the backs of the legs are tight to start. Keep a little soft bend in the knees. Bend more if you want to. Just letting that torso really hang. What I want to invite you to do here for a moment is take just another couple breaths. On your exhale, see if you can let go of your head and neck a little more. Oftentimes we think we've let go of that head and neck and we're still holding a little bit. One more breath. And exhale. Let's bend our knees. We're going to come right up into Utkatasana, chair pose, but keep the arms at shoulder height. Sink into your feet, into your heels, into your seat. And then lift all the way up. Good. Release the arms by your side. We're going to come into just a little stretch for the side body. And then we'll move through a really great practice that I really want to share with you today too, that will help maybe reinvigorate your day when you're feeling a little sluggish. So feet a little wider than hips for this. I'm going to step even a little wider. Good. And then reaching the arms up overhead on a nice deep inhalation. And on our exhale, let's drop our right hand down the right side of the body. And then just let the torso lean toward that right as you open the left side body. But keep your weight even in both feet. So don't let that left foot lift off the floor. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhale, soften. Good. Inhale through the center, reaching up through both arms, nice and strong. And then exhale that left arm down alongside. Just take a deep breath as you lean to your left, stretching open that right side body. And I like to keep a little awareness of core here, kind of drawing my belly button gently in and up as I lengthen. So I'm lifting up and out of the waist as I lengthen. Good. Inhale up through the center. And exhale your hands back down. Good. So what I want to share with you today is this really sweet little kind of pranayama called Breath of Joy. And I remember even sharing this with my grandmother years ago, and she would be going through her day, and she did so much in her day. And it just kind of breathes new life into the body, reinvigorates you. So if you're feeling a little sluggish because you're sitting at your computer, or anytime you're just feeling sluggish, this is a practice that can kind of give you a little more energy. So breath of joy, and I'm going to demonstrate it and then we'll walk through it for a few rounds. So it's going to be 3 active inhales and then 1 big exhale through your mouth. So it's going to look like this. We're going to inhale, bring the arms up to center, and then inhale, bring them up to the side, and then inhale, bring them all the way up. And as we exhale, bend the knees and do a nice big exhale. So join me. Inhale front, inhale side, inhale overhead. Couple more. Feel joyful. Almost childlike. Inhaling. Two more. Great. So coming back up. Of course, you at home can choose to do that for longer if you want, but feel free to use that whenever you feel the need. Let's go through just a little bit of half salutation, and then from there we'll move into a little bit of full. So feet are hip width or together. Second toes in line at the center of the ankle. Pressing down through the 3 points of the feet, the mat of the big toe, the mat of the little toe, and the center of the heel. Hug the thigh muscles in. Tailbone is neutral. We're lengthening up through the spine, the crown of the head. Shoulders are relaxed. Remembering that expansion that we created at the beginning of our practice, feeling that in the front of the body, again in the upper chest. Deep breath in and out. Inhaling, reaching the arms overhead. Exhaling our hands to heart. We're going to inhale and reach up, palms forward, lengthening up and out of the waist. Take a gentle back bend here. And exhale, forward fold, hands to heart, coming all the way down. Inhale, we're going to come to a flat back. Now here we want to either keep our hands on our thighs, wherever you feel like you can get that nice flat back. You may be able to do a flat back from lower down with your hands on your shin, but really listen to your body. Some of you may be able to do a flat back with your hands on the floor. I need to do shins. So take another breath here, lengthen from the sits bones out through the crown of the head. And exhale, forward fold, taking that length forward and down. As we inhale, we're going to bend our knees, coming up through Utkatasana again. If you have any low back issues, you might want to keep your arms right at shoulder height. If you can take them up overhead, pressing all the way up. Release your arms again down by your side. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, palms forward, lifting up and out the waist, and forward fold. Inhale to our flat back, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, and all the way up. Exhaling, arms by our side. Inhale, arms up. Exhaling, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up, palms forward, lifting and lengthening out of the waist. Forward fold as we exhale. Inhale to that flat back. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Utkatasana. Good, this time we're gonna exhale our hands to our heart center. Take that right elbow outside of the left knee, hands in prayer, lengthen and press the left elbow against the right elbow against the left knee. From here, keep inhaling and lengthening a little more. Exhaling, sinking into your twist. One more, inhale, exhale. And go ahead and come to center. We'll do that to the opposite side. Take the left elbow outside the right knee, twisting the opposite direction. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sink into twist. Keep the knees even. Keep your hips even. One more. And exhale. Come back to center. Press all the way up. Good. Releasing the arms down. Great. So let's flow a little bit more. We'll be coming into a little bit more full sun salutation. 3 points of the feet reaching down. Your thigh muscles are hugging into the bone as well as the hamstrings. Tailbone is neutral. Circle the shoulders up and back and down. Bring your hands to your heart. Deep breath in and out. Inhale, reaching the arms up overhead, and exhale the hands to heart. Inhale, palms up, lifting up and up the waist, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale to our flat back, and exhale back down. Inhale, step back with the right foot, bring the right knee down. Now we're just gonna pause here for a minute. I'm gonna begin to open the hips a little bit. So feeling that front of that right hip, throw the left hip back a little bit. If you want, you're not feeling as deep of a stretch here on the side, walk the left foot out, bring your hands into the center, and lower a little deeper. Be mindful of these hips. We don't want to move too deeply into this stretch right away. Give some time. You can take the top of your right foot to the floor if you want. And stay here and breathe. Breathing some space into that. If you have a block or a book available, you can begin to lower down a little bit onto that. Good. Just breathing. Good, and then we're gonna lift back up. Move the block out of the way if you had the block there. With hands about shoulder width apart, lift the hips and step back to plank. Good, nice strong plank here. Exhaling down through 8 points pose. So knees, chest, and chin, but keep the elbows in. Inhaling, pushing up into your cobra. And exhaling back to downward dog. Good, inhale and exhale. Inhale, take the right foot forward between the hands. Left knee comes down. I'm gonna visit this hip in a minute. Exhale, left foot to meet the right, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Take that gentle back bend again, and exhale into your forward fold. Inhaling that left foot back, left knee down. This time we'll pause on this side. Draw the right hip back a little bit, squaring the hips a little more. Again, if you're not feeling too much of a stretch here, walk the right foot to the right a little more. Bring your hands into the middle of the mat. And breathe into the front of that hip. What I want to remind you is that both sides of the body are completely different. So you may find that one side feels more open than the other. It's okay to lower down onto the floor on your forearms or to a block, as I am. Top of that foot can be down. Breathe here into the hips. Good, and then releasing out of that pose gently. And again, hands about shoulder width. We'll curl the toes under, lift the hips, step back into a plank. And again, we're gonna lower down through 8 points pose. Inhaling into cobra and exhaling back, downward dog. This time we'll inhale the left foot forward, right knees down. And exhale the right foot to meet the left, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, hands to heart. and down by your side. Good. Take a moment here to pause and notice how your body is feeling. We're just going to move through just a couple of standing postures before we come back to the floor. So at the top of your mat, I'm going to be changing sides. You're going to stay at the top of your mat. Standing with your feet about hip width apart. We're going to come into Virabhadrasana 2 or Warrior 2. So step back with the right foot. Pivot to bring it parallel the back edge of the mat. So it's to the side. We're going to heel to the left foot over, tilt to bisects the right arch. So if your feet were together, they would actually form a T. Sink into this opening. We're opening the hips to the side. Letting the left knee stay over the left heel. Shoulders over the hips. Bring your arms up. Open-hearted warrior here. So sink into the legs, but continue to lift that core, belly button slightly in and up, lifting up and out. Good. Arms are stretching from fingertip to fingertip. Go ahead and turn your gaze to look forward over the third left finger. Just for a few moments, for a couple of breaths. Take your hands to your hips. We're going to straighten the left leg, pivot it to become parallel. Actually, let's turn our feet out just a few degrees first before we come into that. Sink into goddess pose. So letting there be a little bit of an angle in your feet, and then letting your knees be bent, and letting the torso be nice and tall. Arms can come up to goal pose. Spread the fingers and breathe into your hips. Breathe into this opening. Feel a little fire building in the legs and the thigh. That's okay. That's good. Breathing. One more breath. Straighten the legs, coming all the way up. Hands on hips. Your feet can become now parallel with the outer edges of the mat. Lengthening up through the torso. Exhale, bringing that length forward and down. And you can take your hands to the mat for a moment. Let your weight rock towards your balls of your feet a little bit more. Stacking hips over heels, breathing. Lifting up a little bit with the torso, stretching long, hands on hips, and reversing direction back up. Good. Turning that right foot now to face the back edge of your mat. Keep that left foot parallel with the back edge, but heel to the right foot over so it bisects the left arch. Sink into Virabhadrasana 2 on this side. Now, if you find that your knee is going past your heel, that means you can be a little wider front to back. If you find your knee behind that ankle, then you need to be less wide. So adjusting as you need, shoulders over hips, arms are up. Gaze is over the third right finger. Breathing, just a few breaths here. Good. Hands on our hips. We're going to face forward again. Take your feet to a little bit of an angle, 30, 40 degrees. Sink into goddess pose again. Arms come up, goal post. Breathe. Feeling that strength in your legs. Nice. One more breath. Good. Straightening those legs. Hands behind our back. We're going to clasp our hands. Yoga mudra. Take them down. Release the shoulders away from the neck. Draw the shoulder blades toward the spine. Deep breath in. And exhale, forward fold. But keep your hands on your back. Don't lift them up yet. Coming into your forward fold. Your feet may become more parallel to the edges of the mat. Begin to lift the arms behind you gently, never forcing this. And breathe. Let the head and neck release. Good. One more breath. And release the hands down. Take the hands to the floor. You're going to turn your right foot toward the top of your mat. Your hands will be on either side of that. Pivot the left toes to face forward. And we're just going to go ahead and step right back into downward dog. Nice stretch here. Good. And then we're going to release the knees to the floor, hip width apart. And from here, we're going to come into a cobra again. So let's come right on to our bellies. Keep your hands under the shoulders. Forehead on the floor. Stretch those legs out behind you, really wiggling them long. Press the tops of the feet to the floor, engage the legs, and inhale, lift the head up, coming all the way into cobra. Now what I want you to do is press into your hands, pull them towards you, and open a little more through the front body. Deep breath in. And exhale, lengthening to the spine, back to the floor. Curl the toes under, press back. We're going to come into a child's pose, knees wider than hips. Big toes together, press the hips back toward the heels. And rest in child's pose for a moment. Breathe in. You can wiggle your hips a little side to side. We're going to inhale and lift back up. All right, we're going to come into Ustrasana or camel pose. And what I want to invite you to do is remember that opening when we were just pressing in cobra and kind of pulling the hands towards us, toward our torso a little more, is that opening and expansion that created in the front of the chest. So we want to take that idea into Ustrasana right now. We're just going to do kind of a modified Ustrasana. Toes curled under, feet are hip width apart. Engaging your core, tailbone is reaching down, belly button in and up. So keeping that core really nice and strong, belly button really drawing in and up for this. And then we're just going to take the left arm, circle it up and around, and let it come down to your upper thigh or low buttocks. Same thing on this other side, right arm up and around and down. Inhale, lengthen up. And exhale, keep that belly button lifting in and up as you just tip the upper body back, opening through the chest. Deep breath in here. The head doesn't come back very far. If you want to, you can just look forward. Keep length in the back of the neck. Try not to scrunch that up. Deep breath in here and out. Good. One more. Expanding. And exhale, coming back up. Circling the right arm up and back to the floor to table. Same with the left. Right hand palm up under the left arm. Revolve child's pose. Coming into the right shoulder, the right side of the head. Just breathe here in this twist. Good. Exhale, back to center. Press back up to table. Left hand palm up under the right. Left shoulder, left side of the head. Good. As you press the right hand into the floor, that'll increase your rotation a little more. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, keep the length going deeper into your twist if you can. Good. Exhaling back, pressing into both hands. We're going to come onto our backs. And if you want, you can have a blanket underneath of your torso. We're going to keep our knees bent. We're just going to do a little supine pigeon just to address those hips just a little more. Good. Take the right foot up, then the right leg. Let the knee fall away from you. Keep drawing those right toes toward the shin. Keep the spine nice and long on the floor. And you can reach through your legs to hold either behind the left thigh or in front of the right knee. Just choosing one, pausing there, drawing that left thigh in toward the torso as you encourage that right knee to keep falling away. I'm sure you're going to find some areas that are tight. What I want you to focus on is bringing that breath into those tight muscles. Breathing, encouraging those hip muscles and the back of the buttocks there to let go and soften. As you're doing that, you may be trying unconsciously to draw more tension into your neck and shoulders. So be mindful of keeping the neck relaxed, the shoulders relaxed. You can pull that thigh in without drawing the shoulders up by your ears. So just another moment here on this side. Good, and then releasing the left foot back to the floor. Keeping your feet here, take your arms out to T position and just let your knees rock to the right. Inhale them through the center, exhaling over to the left. Good. Inhale through the center, exhale to the right. Inhaling through the center and exhaling to the left. Coming back up to center, take that right foot up to the ceiling and release that down to the floor. So that right knee is now bent. Taking and adjusting your hips if they became out of center. Take the left leg up to the sky. Bend that knee, cross the left lower leg over the right thigh. Keep the left toes, feet flat, drawing toward the shin. Reach through your legs to grab either the back of that right thigh or the front of the right shin. Drawing that right thigh in, left knee is still opening to the side. Feeling on this side where that tightness is. Sometimes I'll rock a little bit side to side to find the tightest area to work with. Relax the neck and shoulders. Keep drawing the leg in with just the arms and not the shoulders. Breathing. Softening. And then releasing that right foot to the floor, arms out to T position. And again, let's drop the knees to the left this time. Inhaling through the center. You can even walk on that right foot. Exhaling the legs to the right. Inhale through the center. Exhaling the legs to the left. Inhale through the center. And exhale the legs to the right. Good. Coming back up through the center. Sole that right foot on the mat. Take that left foot up to the sky and let it release down all the way. Stretch both legs out. Rock them in and out. Let the feet flop out to the sides. Take the arms and just roll the palms toward the ceiling. It doesn't matter if they come all the way. They can roll towards you a little bit, towards your body, into the center line. Just draw the shoulder blades underneath of you. Rock your head a little side to side. Coming to rest in the center. Taking in a nice deep breath. Exhale, wiggling the jaw. Release any sound. Once more, inhale. Deep exhale, just fully releasing your entire body into the support of your mat. You just are going to take a short little shavasana here, allowing the body to just be still. Just drawing a little deeper breath into your belly again. Beginning to bend the knees, hug them into your chest. Just rolling to your right side for a moment, pausing in that stillness that you've created, returning once again to that quiet stillness within. Gently reaching, pushing into that hand to lift yourself back up. Coming back to our seated position. Once again, reaching the pelvis down into the earth, lengthening up through the spine. Crown of the head reaches up. Hands to heart, honoring that stillness, pressing the thumbs into the sternum. We'll close with one Om. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling for Om. Namaste. Thank you so very much for being with me for this brief but hopefully delightful lunchtime yoga practice.